Should we take another call, Jamie?
Let's
What
take
do you
one more
say?
before
All right,
break.
one
One more
more
before break.
All right. Let's go to Paul. Hi, Paul. What's going on?
What's up, Paul?
Well, I strolled through the radio the other day, and I found you two guys talking.
Oh, first time hearing us?
I've heard you before, but it made me want to call in today.
Hey,
Well,
we
Luckily,
appreciate
I
it.
found you today.
I'm glad you called in. What's on your mind, Paul?
Well, what's on my mind is you two goons after Trump.
Okay, so if you
Oh,
call,
no, wait. Hold on,
let me ask him. So Paul, you called us a goon,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That doesn't bother me
He has
at
his
all.
opinion. It's fine.
What have I
Well,
said?
you call people names, so I just put you in your place.
And I just said I don't have a problem with that. So can we move on now?
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Let me explain why
Please.
you're goons.
Please.
Go right ahead.
You remember Russia, and Hillary Clinton making up the dossier? All that crap you guys put us through 4 years.
Okay, so hold on.
and
If we're gonna have a conversation, you're not gonna put words in my mouth. I have never talked about the dossier. I have not talked about that on this show. I haven't brought up Hillary Clinton because right now she's not a politician. So, sir, Paul, okay, goon, whatever you are, if you want to have a conversation with me, I'm happy to have a debate with you, but you're not going to say things that I said on this show that I never said. So let's start this conversation again. Okay, Paul thinks I'm a goon. What have I said today? Let's try to focus,
like
Paul.
Like I said, I never listened to you. But
so you never, pot him down again.
So he never listened
Hold on.
to you. But...
So you never listened to me, but you're making an assumption and calling me a goon, assuming I said certain things. Sir, I think anybody that's listening could probably know who the goon is, but I'll let you continue. Go ahead.
My assumption is all you goon Democrats think
Okay,
the same
pot him
way.
down again. Every word out of this guy's mouth is not factual. Sir, I vote Republican and Democrat. While I am anti-Donald Trump and I am not happy with Republicans, I am please be quiet, goon, and listen, okay? I'm a registered independent. I know that's hard for somebody like you to grasp, somebody who holds politicians to account, in this case Republicans. So I'm going to give you another opportunity, and I might regret it. I want you to speak to something that I've said on this show today, and I'm happy to have a respectful conversation with you, even though you started the conversation by calling me a name.
And listen, Paul, we want you to have your opinions heard because we respect anybody who wants to call and have a respectful conversation. Who wants to have a respectful conversation. Remember, Paul, we're not trying to pin you down, but hey, don't curse.
So, Paul, give me an example of something I said without making an assumption, and then we can have a reasonable debate. What is something that I've said that you disagree with? That's all I'm asking. I think it's a very fair question.
It is.
That Trump's going to be convicted.
Okay, so first of all, today on the show I didn't say that, but if you want to know,
you said it a couple days ago. I told you yesterday.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
That was a good comment.
So let's have a conversation about that. I'm happy to, Paul. So he's facing 34 felony counts.
Yep.
When I say I believe he's going to be convicted, it doesn't just include this case. It believes the case, the Secretary of State phone call he had, the classified documents, an ongoing rape case that's in civil court, other issues, and January 6th. So when I say I believe he's going to be convicted, I never said he's going to be convicted on all 34 counts. And I don't even necessarily think he could be maybe convicted in this case. But as a whole, with all those cases, I believe, yes, he will get a conviction. And when he does, will you call into the show and say, hey, Brian, maybe you're not a goon. Maybe you know what you're talking about. And then if he's not convicted in a year, then I'll say, hey, Paul, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm a goon. How does that sound, sir?
I think that's fair.
Sounds great. Even though you're basing that on your assumption.
Okay, so that's an opinion, right? You clearly don't think Trump.
No.
Hold on. A grand jury decided that there was enough evidence to indict Donald Trump. So clearly they disagree with you. But that's an opinion. It's your opinion that you don't think Trump will be convicted. It's my opinion that he will be. Let's move on to something else. And by the way, that doesn't make me a goon.
Do you realize you're innocent just because somebody accuses you of something?
No,
it means
sir.
that you're innocent until proven guilty.
I said that on the show. See, I know you don't listen like you claim. But I said on the show multiple times this week, and Jamie could attest to it, that you are innocent in this country until proven guilty. The evidence showed a grand jury decided that there was enough evidence to indict Trump. If you don't think he's going to be convicted, that's your opinion. I disagree with you, and we'll see where the chips fall where they may. Next, please. Next.
Well, you name me one thing that he's been convicted that you Democrats attack him for.
Okay, so I will correct you again because I'm not a registered.
No, you are a
pot him down
Democrat.
again. Okay, pot him down again. This is what these MAGAs do. I have been a registered independent my whole life, and quite frankly, sir, I don't care what you think. Okay, I really don't. But that's all you've got? That's what would lead you to call me a goon? All you said in this phone conversation is that you don't think Trump is going to be convicted. I disagree with you. I think eventually he's going to be convicted of something. I'm asking you again now, without making generalizations or calling me a name or calling me a Democrat, what else do you disagree with me on? And I'm going to give you another opportunity to make a point. Go ahead.
Would it make you any of his business whether he slept with a woman or not?
Pot him down again. That's not what this case is about. I was making a joke about that, sir. It's called having a sense of humor. This case is not about Donald Trump sleeping with a woman and cheating on his wife.
Right. That's not illegal.
That's not what this case is about. If you don't know what this case is about, then I'm not going to waste my airtime and explain it to you. So now I'm going to give you a 10th opportunity. What else do you have besides you just disagreeing with me about Trump being convicted or not, which eventually we will find out. I'm giving you another opportunity to make your point because you haven't made one yet. Go ahead, sir.
You say that you're not a Democrat, but what comes out of your mouth is Democrat.
Okay, so what did I say that would lead you to believe that I'm a Democrat as far as policy goes, sir?
You tote the Democrat line.
And okay, so what did I say that was a lie? You say I tote Democrat lies, so now
the lie is Donald Trump will be convicted.
Okay,
That's
so sir, let me pot you down again because I don't think you understand what a lie, the definition of a lie is. You see, there's something called an opinion, and then there's something called a lie, right? An opinion is, I believe based on the evidence that I've heard that he's probably going to be convicted. That's not a lie. That's an opinion. A lie is I won the election in a landslide and the Democrats cheated. That's the difference between a lie and an opinion. Sir, do you not understand the difference between an opinion and a lie? So I'm going to ask you again. Me saying Donald Trump that I believe, in my opinion, he's going to be convicted is not a lie. So you called me a liar, so now I'm going to give you another opportunity. Please give me an example of something that I said that's a lie.
I just want to know.
Reword it for you. Based on what you said, what you said, I believe you're a Democrat.
Okay,
that's my
sir,
opinion.
I'm going to ask you again because you're not answering my question.
Don't have to. You
called me a liar, sir. Sir, MAGA. I need you to concentrate. Okay, MAGA. I need you to focus. You called me a liar. When you call somebody a liar, you actually have to come up with something. Brian, here's what you said. That's a lie. So now I'm going to ask you again, what have I said on this show or any other show? Not that a Democrat has said what Brian Shapiro has said. What have I said that is a lie? Can you please answer my question directly?
And I started my conversation. I strolled through the radio station.
I don't care. I don't care.
I got you two goons.
Okay, so let's try this again because I'm having fun with this gentleman now because this is a typical MAGA supporter who can't even have a conversation with somebody. He throws out goon. It's the circus. Yes, it is the circus. This gentleman definitely deserves this music. So, sir, now I'm going to ask you again for the 8th time. Sir, this is very exhausting, but I appreciate this conversation, sir, because I'm losing some calories today. I appreciate that. So I'll say it again. When you call somebody a liar, you have to give a specific example. For example, when I called Donald Trump a liar, I won the election in a landslide and the Democrats cheated. No evidence of widespread voter fraud. He lied. So now I'm asking you again. I think we've been down this road before in this conversation. What have I said that's a lie? Sir, can you not, if you can't answer the question, then just admit it, that you don't have any evidence, but you just want to call me a liar anyway. What did I say that was a lie?
Not exist. You don't believe in God. That's a lie.
Okay, so what have I said on this show that would lead you to believe that I don't believe in God? How would you come up with that conclusion? Please tell me.
You've said it.
I've never said on this show once.
You've said it.
Now we learned who the lie is. First of all, he says he never listens to the show, but now all of a sudden he claims on this show I've said I don't believe in God. Okay, so let me be clear, sir. You're the liar. Never once have I ever said on this show I don't believe in God. I'm not an atheist. In fact, to the contrary, I do believe in God. I might not be the most religious person, but I'm not an atheist and I do believe in God. So let's
recently, these migrants, they're legal. We're approaching 4.9 million people crossing our borders in the last 20 months. They're not all legal
Did I
migrants.
say? I never said they were all legal.
You just said your words in quotes.
In the plane.
These migrants are legal.
I was specifically taught. Do you really think that statement was about every single person in this country?
I have to take it at what you said.
That's absurd. Okay, you're taking what I said out of context.
You're clarifying it. Then.
Well,
okay.
I mean, to you, I am. I don't think I need to clarify it to anybody else, but I'm clarifying it to you. No, I didn't mean to say that there are no illegals in this country. That is absurd.
Thank you.
Did I really need to clarify that? You really think? Hold on, JD. Do you really think that Brian Shapiro believes that there are no illegals in this country? Is that what I needed to clarify for you? Are you being serious?
Well, I just thought that you didn't know. That's why I'm.
Well, you're right, JD. No, you're right, JD. I didn't know. I didn't know that there were any illegals in this country. Okay. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I'm so glad I could clarify that for you. Go ahead, JD.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
In regard to you stating that DeSantis sent people to Martha's Vineyard and Biden is sending them to better places. In my hometown, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Avoca Airport, and I know this for a fact because I have relatives there, 350 people, illegals, were flown there at 3 o'clock in the morning without any notification to the mayor, the council, or what have you.
And where's your evidence and proof of that, sir? Where did you get that story from, and where is the evidence? Because I'm not going to let you just throw things at a wall and hope that it sticks. Where is the evidence that Joe Biden and his administration did not? Now, you can call other programs on other stations that are conservative and make statements like that, and the host will just let you keep talking. I want to know, where is your proof and evidence that Joe Biden and his administration not only sent migrants to Pennsylvania, but they didn't warn anybody about it? Where is your evidence of that, sir?
My brother and sister.
Oh, so your brother and sister seem to know everything. JD, give me a break, all right? Guess what? My brother and sister say that you're a pedophile. So does that mean you're a pedophile? Yes or no? My brother and sister say that you're a pedophile. Does that mean you're a pedophile? Or would you say, where's your evidence? I don't think you're a pedophile, JD. But if my brother and sister say that, does that make it true? No, it doesn't.
My friend says you're a race baiter.
Oh, okay. Well, your friend is an idiot. Who cares? Just because you say something doesn't mean it's true. Just because your brother and sister, who are probably right-wing buffoons just like you, say something doesn't mean it's true. I need evidence. Give me evidence.
They both voted for
I
Biden
don't care.
and Obama.
Quite frankly, I could care less the way your family voted. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I'm happy to disagree with you. I like a good debate, JD. All I'm simply
how do you know DeSantis lied to these people in Martha's Vineyard?
Because they were given brochures, and the brochures were public. How could you not know that? They were given brochures by the DeSantis administration, and in those brochures, they were fact-checked, and there were lies in those brochures. That's how I know.
Where was that shown? How was that reported?
How was that reported? Those actual migrants that were on those planes were all given those brochures, and then in Martha's Vineyard, they were showing them to the media. That's why. No, I guess a migrant just brought those brochures to try to make Ron DeSantis look bad. JD, come on.
I saw the videos of the migrants in Martha's Vineyard. I didn't see what you're talking about.
Oh, well, because you didn't see it, it must not be true then. Ask your brother and sister, because they seem to know everything.
Brian, you're doing a great job.
It's funny. I am doing a good job destroying you, JD. Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
You're doing a great. I would love to debate you one-on-one.
As long as you don't ask your brother and sister, because they seem to know everything. JD, you're welcome to call anytime, my friend. But if you're going to make claims like that, it can't be from your brother and sister. You actually have to have a real source. Okay?
By the way, you know who I miss on your show? I'm wondering what happened to Roxanne. When is she going to be on the show again, McCoy?
Well, that's the one thing that I'm happy you asked that, JD, to be honest with you. I'm sure she would appreciate that. Roxanne was actually supposed to come on last week. She's a very busy lady. She had another engagement. I love Roxanne to death, and I promise you she will be on the show.
Another race baiter.
Okay, no, keep JD on stop with the music. JD, I don't know what you do to volunteer to help people. I would imagine probably nothing. Roxanne takes the time out of her day every day, doesn't get paid $1 to do it, and she helps minorities in this community, whether that be legal services or healthcare, whatever the case may be. She works her ass off every day helping minorities and, quite frankly, sir, saving lives. Now, I know you
What's her form of support then? Where does she get her income?
What's her former? She has another job. What is wrong with you?
What is it?
None of your damn business, sir. What do you do? What do you do to help people? What do you do to help people in this community, JD? What do you do to volunteer? Tell us. I'm happy. I have open ears, sir. What do you do to help people in Las Vegas? Tell me right now, because I'll give you 10 things that I do. Tell me right now what you do to help people. Answer the question.
I'm trying to, if you give me a chance. First of all, I work with the Knights of Columbus raising money for disabled children.
Okay.
Raised thousands and thousands of dollars for them.
Happy to hear that. So if I called you, I don't know, you attack handicapped people, you'd probably take offense to that, right, sir?
I would ignore the stupid comment.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ignore your stupid comment that Roxana's a race bar and get the hell off my show. You're not insulting one of my friends who does so much for this community, you clown. The guy wants to go one-on-one with me. Hey, guess what? I don't go one-on-one with Klansmen. Take that to the bank. Anyway, Michelle, how are you doing?
Hey, I thank you for taking my call, first of all. I have to tell you, you want to be an intelligent man, but the lady that was walking through the supermarket and the other person that made a racist comment to her, why did you immediately go to it being a Trump supporter when you have no idea who that was?
Sure, I'll answer your question. Okay? So, I don't know who this woman is. I don't know where she's from. Here's what I do know. She made a racist statement. Here's why I say what I say. Here's why I'm still answering. I'm still answering your question, and then I will happily give you a chance to respond. Is that fair? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, much of, I would say, the overwhelming majority, I didn't say all, but the overwhelming majority of people that are attacking immigrants, brown people, gay people, are not Democrats in 2024. Example, many Republicans are anti-gay marriage. Many Republicans denounce minorities. It's why there are so few minorities within the Republican Party. Last I checked, white supremacists today, I'm not talking about 80 years ago, Proud Boy members, Klan members are all supporters of Donald Trump. Now, if you can find me a bunch of Klan people or Proud Boy members that are huge Kamala Harris supporters, then I'm all ears. Please let me know. We're talking about right now. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that there aren't Democrats out there that aren't racist, because there very well probably are some. But is it possible that this woman who did this is not a Trump supporter? Sure, that's possible. But I'm going to go with an educated guess based on the demographic that it's probably somebody who agrees with Donald Trump.
Do you have any numbers of any polls beside your opinion that actually supports what you just said?
Sure. So here's the way I will answer that. There are no polls out there that ask you if you're a racist or not. And by the way, nobody would admit that they are racist, but I will turn it back on you. Of all the Klan members, by the way, the leader of the Klan is David Duke. He's a huge Donald Trump supporter. And the Proud Boy members and the Oath Keepers, which are 3 hate groups, by the way. Of those 3 hate groups, you tell me. Give me an educated guess of what you think. The Proud Boys, the Klan members, and the Oath Keepers, are those Democrats or Republicans? No. Please answer the question, sir, because I answered yours. Please answer.
My honest answer is,
yep.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, you're idea. Okay. So I'm going to ask you again, and I'm going to give you a little bit of context.
And then I'd like to weigh in as a Democrat.
I'm going to give you a little bit of context because I'm going to repeat myself. David Duke is a Donald Trump supporter. He is the leader of the Klan. When Donald Trump was on a debate stage several years ago and was asked about the Proud Boys, who, by the way, are all in support of Donald Trump didn't denounce them. He told them to stand back and stand by. Of the hate groups that were a part of January 6th, and there were all sorts of different white supremacist, right-wing fringe hate groups that had an opportunity to defend themselves in a courtroom, not one of them said they were voting for Kamala Harris. They were Trump supporters. So now, based on that information, sir, which is not opinion, those are facts, and if you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself. So I will now ask you again, based on that information, I'm asking you again, it's not on 2 people, it's on hundreds of people on January 6th, it's on the leader of the Klan, and it's on basically every single person that is a member of the Proud Boys who is not supporting Kamala Harris. So based on that information, sir, can you give me a little intellectual honesty and answer the question one more time?
The answer is there is no data to support
No data.
your opinion.
No data. Hey, I didn't give you data. I gave you facts. I gave you facts.
No. Let's go to BLM.
Sure.
How many of BLM are voting for Trump?
Sure. So when you say BLM, hold on. I'm asking you because it's a stupid question, but I need you to clarify.
That's not a race.
Hold on. So when you say BLM, are you saying the 7 or 8 people within the organization? Or are you talking about the tens of millions of people that protested, those that did not commit crimes? When you say BLM, be specific.
BLM has more violent protests.
Will you be quiet? Will you listen to me? When you say BLM, listen, stop talking. When you say BLM, I'll ask it again.
Wow.
Are you going to listen? Pot him down. This MAGA dope doesn't know how to listen and pay attention. So I'll ask it anyway, and we'll see if this moron can answer it, this bird for brain. Sir, when you say BLM, I'll ask it again because MAGA people like you really struggle to listen. Are you talking about the 7 or 8 people that formed the organization, or are you talking about the tens of millions of people that protested? Can you please answer that very simple question, or are you going to say I have nerve again? Answer the question.
Let's go tens of millions that violently protested.
Okay, so pot him down again. This inbred moron. First of all, tens of millions of people were not violently protesting, you MAGA buffoon.
Okay, so
there was a small percentage of people. There was a very small percentage of people that did some very, very bad things. In fact, since you're so ignorant, you don't know, some of them were Proud Boy members and agitators that are from white supremacist groups. How do we know that? Because they were convicted in a court of law. Of the tens of millions of people I want to ask him a question now because this is so mesmerizing how ignorant some of these MAGA people are. You mean to tell me that you think tens of millions of people throughout the country that were at Black Lives Matter protest, according to you, tens of millions of people were violent protesters? Is that what you just said, sir? Or would you like to clarify your ignorant statement?
I will say as many people at BLM rallies got violent as much as the KKK and any other group you mentioned.
Okay, so pot him down again. First of all, I wasn't comparing January 6th to BLM. You were, number one. Number two, tens of millions of people protest throughout the country. You just said tens of millions of people were violent protesters. You obviously have no idea what you're talking about. So I will try one more time, and then I will let Ileana take over because, sir, I'm not getting anywhere with you because you have no idea what you're talking about. So let me start with the most basic thing. David Duke endorsed Donald Trump. David Duke is the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. Is David Duke a Democrat or a Republican? Can you please, let's start with something where we might agree with. Is David Duke a Republican or a Democrat? Please answer the question, sir.
I don't know, Mr.
I don't know. All you say is I don't know because you're an inbred MAGA buffoon is what you are with an IQ of about 20. So here's what I suggest. Go buy your Trump Bible. Go buy your Confederate flag. Okay? Go get educated. Go burn your books. Okay? Go attack the gay community and the trans community. I can't have a conversation with somebody that is a moron like you. You are a moron and you are Donald Trump's base. Have a nice day, you stupid inbred. Have a nice day. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, as a Democrat, not able to be commander-in-chief, and nor should he. So that should be pretty telling.
It sounds to me like it's a tough choice for you. Why?
Well, because of the way she got to the top, for one.
Okay,
how did she get to the top?
How did she get to the top?
Well, I've seen a lot. You know, I try not to judge on social media, but I have seen a lot from Judge Joe Brown, who I did some research, who actually is a judge, and he's came clean about a lot of stuff about her because, you know, she was in
Joe Brown or Billy Brown? Which Brown are you talking about here?
Judge Joe Brown.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, what does that have to do with Harris? What does he know about Harris?
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Because they were on the Senate in California. And
she was Attorney General in California. Are you talking about prior to that?
What's it? Sorry,
she was Attorney General
yes.
So she passes the bar. She's a prosecutor for years. She's duly elected twice as the Attorney General in San Francisco.
So not the state Senate.
Then becomes a senator. how did I don't understand? Like, what did she do in your mind that she didn't deserve anything that she got?
You guys keep saying that she's very educated.
Well, she is.
I have yet seen. And she's probably smarter than me. I'm just a working guy.
I'm not comparing her to you.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Right,
I mean,
sir, I'm not comparing her to you. All I'm simply
no,
reacting
I understand.
to
I'm
unless you're
trying to
running for
explain
the
what I was
president.
coming up with, but
let's
you guys
back up. This is important. You just said on the phone, and you insinuated that she got to the top and maybe she didn't earn it or deserve it. And what I am asking you, because I could care less what somebody like Joe Brown said, okay? There are people on the right that lie about her on a daily basis. What I care about is evidence. And here's the evidence. She's college educated. She's never been arrested before, never committed a crime, unlike Orange Man, okay? She passed the bar. She was a prosecutor for years, became attorney general, elected twice in California, by the way, elected twice. She becomes a senator. She wins that race. And then she's chosen to be the first black vice president of the United States. I'm trying to understand why you would read something that some guy named Joe Brown said, and that just infiltrates your mind and you believe it.
It just denigrates her.
It didn't infiltrate my mind. First off, I want to let's stop bringing college education and all this, because common sense goes a long ways. Okay.
Common sense goes a long way, but so does an education, especially when you're trying to be the president of the United States.
I mean, have you heard her speak? Have you ever listened to her speak?
I have, and it kind of bothers me.
And what part of it? What part of it bothers you? What does she say
I
that
don't
somehow
think
makes her not credible?
I honestly don't think either of them are competent of doing anything.
Okay,
no,
so hold on.
Hold
on. You're comparing Harris, and I want to dissect your mind on this because you don't like when she speaks, which is confusing to me. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is worse? When Kamala Harris speaks and maybe she says something you don't like, or when Donald Trump says, if Jews don't vote for me, they must hate their religion and they need to get their head examined. Or when he makes up a story about Willie Brown, or when he attacks illegals coming into this country,
but wait,
and he tells people to go back to their S-hole countries.
Hold on. I just want to know, what about her speaking bothers you? Is it because she laughs here and there when she's speaking? That's probably a nervous tick. What about?
Yeah, what does she do that bothers you?
You guys are both kind of stepping over each other here, so I'll try to answer one and try to answer the other one at the same time. And like I said, now don't grill me on my opinions, because I haven't grilled anybody, neither of you guys, on your opinions.
No, we're just asking.
When I hear her speak,
it's not grilling. It's asking you questions and challenging you. It's not an attack, and it's not grilling. This is a radio show. I haven't called you any names. I'm not attacking you.
You sound like a very nice person.
I just want to understand, what is it about Harris when she talks that I don't just give me an example so I know.
I guess every time I've seen her speak, she hasn't brought any real things to the table.
In regards
I see her dance around. I see her dance around the questions more than actually giving some good physical answers of what she's going to do.
What has she danced around that frustrates you? Like, give me a specific
example. That's the problem. I guess I fall in the same line as everybody else, because I stopped watching terrestrial TV years ago, and radio for that fact, because it's always swinging one way. So I catch bits and pieces here and there, and
what do you mean
grill
it's
me
all
for where I get
one
everything.
Way? You mean it's all swinging to the left? Is that what you're claiming? All the media swings to the left?
It's either the left or the right.
Okay,
look,
all right.
Yeah, but
the
you
reason
can
of calling
listen
is
to
that,
her.
You can listen to
you
can listen to one of her speeches and make your own decision
entirety,
on it, right?
Not just here and there. That might be why you dislike her, because you're hearing little sound bites.
But what I'm getting from you is
I can't say I don't.
You don't.
Hold on.
You don't.
I can't say.
Go ahead.
Hold on one second. I can't say I'm not disliking anybody, because that's not my place to dislike somebody because I don't agree with what they say. The reason of calling in, and this is a great starting point for everybody. Let's stop. I listen to you guys talk with other callers. Stop. I think everybody just needs to back up. We need to look at both teams. But I noticed.
I disagree.
Okay.
We do.
I disagree. Here's why I disagree.
Well, this is the first time you've interacted with me. I'm a registered independent.
Here's why I don't need to.
The only way.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think I am?
I don't answer that because it's
okay.
No political
you know
party.
What I'm saying? I'm not judgmental like that.
I
do think
no
that
political party.
I left.
Okay. Okay, so you're wrong.
I do. I think you're on the left.
This is the problem.
Am I?
Okay, you're wrong.
Yeah,
See, I don't. That's why I don't like answering that question.
Okay,
it's okay.
Okay, but there's a reason why I asked that, because it's very dangerous to make assumptions about. Let me be very clear. I
Correct.
lean to the left on social issues. I've always been a registered independent. I did not vote for Barack Obama. I did not vote for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Joe Biden in 2020 because it was an anti-Donald Trump vote. I'll be voting for Kamala Harris in 2024 because it's an anti-Donald Trump vote. You know why I don't have to take 2 steps back? Because I know who Donald Trump is. He's a 34-count convicted felon. He's a man that attacks women on looks. He attacks POWs. He dodged the military. He's a terrible father. He's a terrible husband. He's got 5 kids with three different women, and he is a liable sexual abuser. I know who Donald Trump is, and all you have to do is look at his background, and that's not from the liberal media. Those are facts, my friend.
Right.
Now, if you don't like the way Kamala Harris speaks, and you can't give me a specific example of something that she dances around, then it's very difficult for me to have a policy conversation with you. If you said, Brian, I don't like it when she doesn't answer, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. You want to talk about policy? Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago the other day, who, by the way, didn't talk about any policies, was asked specifically by a member of the media, how are you going to vote in Florida on the abortion referendum? You know what his answer was? No answer. I'll give you that answer at a later date. If anything, the person that is not talking about policy is Donald Trump.
Say that, I think it's going to be, Kamala will get crushed. I think all Trump's got to do is Tulsi Gabbard on her. Tulsi Gabbard just annihilated her, sticking to policy. And all of these pundits that are saying that Trump is not going to pick up new voters don't know what they're talking about. Trump is going to pick up a lot of new voters.
How did Tulsi Gabbard annihilate her? Let's go back to why you would make a statement like that.
Well, the thing is, she just called her out on a bunch of policies.
Which policy?
She's just a fake.
Which policy?
I don't remember the debate. But all I do remember
but hold on.
She was gone the next day.
Okay, so
she called her out on policy.
Okay, but hold on. Gabbard got less votes than Kamala Harris. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to tell me that Gabbard annihilated her and you can't name me one reason why, it's hard for me to put a picture of credibility to that, Al, with all due respect.
That's true. You got a good point.
Okay, so let's move on.
Is that all I can say is all the people who are knowledgeable, that's what they're saying, and I'm following them.
Who are those people, and who are those people that are so knowledgeable that you speak of?
Like Hannity,
So you think Sean Hannity is a credible source of information and he's not biased at all? Are you kidding me?
I think that
has Sean Hannity ever?
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Hannity I think is credible. He sticks to policy.
Oh, really? He does. So Sean. Okay, let's talk about that.
Policy, and that's what we're all doing.
The same guy who talked about Dominion voting machines, the same guy who talks about election integrity, the same guy who said in text messages that Donald Trump was full of crap, but never said anything to the same tune on his radio show or TV show.
What did he say?
About the election? About the election being stolen?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm trying to somewhat support you on a point, which I do support him. When he said that Trump was full of crap, what was he talking about?
The 2020 election. He didn't believe Donald Trump's claims that the 2020 election was stolen. But yet when you see him on TV and radio, he talks about all this alleged election fraud and never criticizes Trump about it at all. That's the guy that you look to for information.
Okay. Well, when people talk about election fraud, they get they get confused about election fraud and what I would call making the laws bet your way to.
No, I don't think it's.
I don't believe. Now listen, Well, hold on, let me finish so you understand where I'm at. Okay, I don't believe that there was election fraud. I do believe though that the Democrats did change the laws to their favor because of COVID, and they maintained them that way. They could have.
Okay, so Al, here's the thing: if Harris wins, if Harris wins, your guy will not concede, and it won't have anything to do with COVID. It won't have anything to do with. No, it's not. No, it's not fine, Al. How could you be okay with that? If he doesn't win, it's going to have nothing to do with COVID. It's going to have nothing to do with election integrity or Dominion voting machines. The guy who you support will not concede in November if he loses a free and fair election, and I am shocked that doesn't bother people like you. Shocked. Why does that not bother you?
The thing is this. I don't have a plug to his brain. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't have a crystal ball.
I do.
Okay?
I do. He will not concede.
He can have his reasons, but if he loses, I'm going to tell you, if he loses, it's going to be because of his big mouth. And all the Republicans were calling him out on that. As a matter of fact, I want to tell you something. I live over here by Timbers, and I went and a staunch Republican came up to me, and he goes, I'd like to tie some kind of an electric monitor to Trump's crotch, just to keep things clean, so that every time he gets out of line, I'll shock him. Yeah, and that's my message to the Trump campaign.
Well,
you know what? Stick to policy,
what
man.
Makes you? But what?
Try to do at least what Tulsi Gabbard did.
What makes you think that in 2024, that all of a sudden, at the age of 78, that Donald Trump is going to be able to stick to policy? Delusions of grandeur, my friend. I cannot believe that
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But you know what? If he really wants to win, he's got to get on the ball. Stick to policy. Now, my message to the Democratic Party, to the Democrats, is that when you compare the Republican track record of communities, of our safety, of our Republican communities to Democrat communities, here in Nevada, it's legal to have 28 grams of fentanyl, which is enough to kill 14,000 people, which the Democrats, Steve Yeager, and our Attorney General put in line in 2019 is outrageous, and they're supposed to be champions for the inner city and minorities.
All right, well, if you want to blame Democrats for drug overdoses, why did I never hear you talk about the hundreds of thousands of people that died from drug overdoses when Donald Trump was also president of the United States? What I don't like, Al, are people that talk about addiction and certainly a bad drug problem that we've had in this country for a very long time and use it to score political points. The bottom line here.
Well, but let me tell you something. Here in the state of Nevada, Trump doesn't make the state laws. It was Aaron Ford and Steve Yeager, who are Democrats, who set it to 100 grams. I was just informed they got knocked down to 28 grams, but that's still enough to kill about 14,000 people.
Again,
14,000.
It goes to
Is Trump responsible for that?
Okay, well, you're the same person that
you're in Nevada.
You're the same person that says Joe Biden is responsible for the high gas prices and inflation when it's up all over the world.
Well, let's think about forget about the gas. At least you agree on the drug issue, that it's the Democrats that are putting drugs on the street.
No.
Homelessness just got reported here in Clark County that it's gone up by 1,000 over the last time over a year.
You can pick apart any statistic you want and blame Democrats. We also hear lies from the far right that violent crimes were up under Joe Biden, when we also know that's a lie, and they are way down. So on one side of the coin, you want to blame Democrats for the drug epidemic we have in this country. But on the other side of things, when it comes to lowering crime and violent crime for whatever reasons, you don't want to give Democrats any credit. But listen, Al, I appreciate.
Well, there's a possibility that some of the violent crime did come down.
It's not a possibility.
Some of the people are saying there's arguments on both sides.
No,
let me tell you what some of the Republicans are saying.
It's not a possibility.
They're saying violent crimes aren't reported.
Okay, well, guess what? Guess what? They're making an assumption that violent crime isn't reported when there's actually no evidence to back that up, and that is another right-wing talking point. You see, when I give you statistics that benefit Democrats in the Biden administration, you make excuses and say, well, they're not reporting all the crimes. But then when you make up a stat that I've never seen before in the state of Nevada, somehow blaming Democrats for every drug overdose in this state, those stats might be true. And you claim they are. But then when I give you a stat that benefits the Biden administration, you have your right-wing talking points, Al. I appreciate the phone call, but it is ridiculous. And I think of the many ridiculous things you said in that phone call, you give an ounce of credibility to Sean Hannity. That's your source of information? Wow. 702-221-7283. And again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation.